Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a message that I know will resonate with each and every one of you. I want to talk to you about something that has the power to change your life, to shape your destiny. Timing. Yes, timing is everything. You see, many of us spend so much of our time focused on what we're doing, on the tasks at hand, on the hustle and grind. But we often forget that what you do is not always as important as when you do it. Sometimes the difference between success and failure isn't the amount of effort you put in, but the right moment, the right time. Timing, my friends, is like the perfect note in a song. You can have the right melody, but if you hit it too early or too late, it changes everything. And it's in this moment when the timing is aligned that you find your breakthrough. Timing is about recognizing seasons. Life is like nature. It has its seasons. You can't plant a seed in winter and expect it to bloom right away. No, the seasons have to change. The weather has to align, and only then can you see the harvest. In life, you must know what season you're in. You must understand that there are times to plant, times to grow, and times to rest. And when the season changes, when the winds of opportunity begin to blow, you must be ready. But here's the catch. Patience is not about sitting still. Patience is preparation. The waiting period is not wasted time. It's where you prepare for what's coming next. You see, timing often requires a period of silence, a period of preparation where you're being molded, strengthened, and built up for what you can't even see yet. Just like a diamond, you're being refined in the pressure. And when the time comes, you will shine brighter than you ever imagined. Now, I know this next truth might sting a little, but let me say it. Opportunities don't wait for you. They don't care if you're ready or not. They will show up when they show up, and if you're not paying attention, if you don't recognize the moment, they'll pass you by. The opportunity that could change everything will be gone in an instant. So the key is to be alert. Be aware, be ready to act when the moment comes, even if you feel uncertain. But here's the good news, my friends. Timing is not just about waiting. It's about knowing when to move, knowing when to take that step, knowing when to take that risk, even when the path ahead isn't perfectly clear. Timing is not passive, it's active. It's about stepping out in faith when the world says you should wait, and trusting that your timing, your decision is part of a larger plan. Let me remind you that there's a divine clock ticking over your life. There's a reason why some doors haven't opened yet. It's not that you're not ready, but that the time has not yet come. And when the time is right, nothing can stop you. When it's your time, it's your time. You'll walk through doors you never thought possible. You'll meet people you never imagined you'd meet. And you'll accomplish things that once seemed impossible. So today, I challenge you, don't rush your process. Trust that when it's your time, it will come. But also, don't sit back and wait forever. Recognize the moments when they arrive. Act in faith and make those moments count. Timing is everything. It's the difference between a dream deferred and a dream realized. And I promise you this, if you align yourself with the right timing, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Timing is one of the most powerful forces in life, and it often goes unnoticed in our daily hustle. We spend so much of our time focusing on the actions we're taking, the tasks we're completing, the efforts we're putting in, that we forget to step back and think about when we're doing it. Success is not always just about hard work or talent. Sometimes it's about the perfect alignment of your actions with the right moment. Consider how everything in life has a rhythm, a flow that when tapped into allows things to happen effortlessly. It's like a musician playing an instrument. If you're playing the right notes but at the wrong time, the sound doesn't resonate. You can be working, pushing, striving with all your might, but if you miss the right timing, all that effort could be in vain. Think of a farmer planting crops. If the farmer tries to plant in the dead of winter, the ground is frozen and the seeds will never grow. But when the soil is warm, the sun shines at just the right angle, and the season is right for planting, suddenly the same seeds you've been nurturing can take root and begin to flourish. That is timing. It's understanding when the conditions are right and being willing to wait for them instead of rushing forward prematurely. The right moment doesn't always come on your timetable. It doesn't follow the plans you've set for yourself. Sometimes it shows up when you least expect it, when you've put in the work, when you've had the patience, and when you've been preparing for a season you didn't even realize you were getting ready for. And the thing about the right moment is that it often has a way of making everything else fall into place. The work you've done, the skills you've built, the people you've met, the knowledge you've acquired, all of these things come together in the perfect moment to create something bigger than you could have ever imagined. So when I say that timing is everything, what I mean is that there's a moment for everything, and it's your job to recognize it. It's your job to listen to the rhythm of life and find where you're meant to fit. The right time will come, and when it does, you need to be ready. Because when the right moment comes, you won't have to force things. Everything will align and the doors will open, sometimes even in ways you never expected. Life, in many ways, is like the changing of the seasons. Each season has its own purpose, its own rhythm, and its own time to be fulfilled. But too often we try to rush through one season to get to the next, thinking that the next phase is where we'll find our success, our happiness, or our breakthrough. What we fail to recognize is that timing is intricately tied to the seasons we go through in life. And just like the seasons in nature, we must learn to honor each phase. You can't force a plant to bloom in the winter. The conditions just aren't right. Similarly, you can't rush your own personal growth. There are seasons when you need to be planting, sowing seeds of effort, learning new skills, and building relationships. Those are the quiet seasons, the times when you feel like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, something is growing. This is where timing becomes crucial. Knowing that what you're doing today may not yield fruit immediately, but it is necessary groundwork for the harvest to come. But just as the seasons change in nature, they also change in your life. You'll find that there will be times when you're moving from one season to another, and that shift can feel jarring. One moment you're preparing, the next you're in full bloom, standing at the edge of something new and extraordinary. And the key to navigating these transitions smoothly is recognizing when the season has changed. You can't stay in winter forever, no matter how much you want to. There's a time for rest and there's a time for action. If you miss the window, if you don't recognize the change in the season, you risk missing the opportunities that come with it. Think of a tree. It spends months in the cold, looking barren, not showing much on the surface. But during that time, its roots are growing deeper, stronger, and more established. It doesn't worry when winter comes. It knows that spring is coming, and with it, the opportunity to grow and bloom. You have to trust that every season has a purpose in your life. There will be seasons where you need to rest, reflect, and gather strength for what's ahead. But there will also be seasons where you need to step out, expand, and embrace the opportunities that come your way. And while we may not always see the bigger picture in the moment, it's important to remember that the timing of each season is part of a divine plan. Each phase of life builds upon the last. It's not always about instant results. It's about trusting that every season, whether one of growth, learning, struggle, or rest, prepares you for what's next. If you can be patient and understand that timing has a purpose in every season, you'll begin to trust the process. If the transitions from one season to another will no longer be a burden, but an exciting step toward your purpose. And when your springtime comes, when the season of harvest arrives, you will be ready to bloom in ways you never imagined. Patience is a concept that many of us struggle to embrace, especially in a world that values speed and instant gratification. Yet patience is an essential part of timing, and it is often misunderstood. It is not about simply waiting around or sitting idle. Patience is a powerful force, a season of preparation that allows us to grow, learn, and strengthen ourselves for what lies ahead. It's about trusting that the right moment will come, but also using the time wisely. When we talk about patience, we're not referring to a passive wait-and-see attitude. Patience is active. It's a process of continuous growth, of getting ready for what's next, even when you can't yet see it. Think of it as a time of refinement. It's like a blacksmith who heats and hammers the metal into shape. The process can be intense and challenging, but it's through this testing that the metal becomes stronger, sharper, and more capable of fulfilling its purpose. During these times of waiting, we are being sharpened, prepared for the opportunities that will eventually come. Patience doesn't just mean enduring the wait. It's about making the most of the time you have. It's the time when you take stock of your strengths, where you identify areas of growth and where you invest in your future. This is the time to learn new skills, to get your heart and mind in the right place, to develop the confidence that will carry you when the moment arrives. You're not standing still, you're evolving, you're refining, you're building a foundation that will allow you to stand firm when the time is right. In the absence of patience, we can become frustrated. We can lose sight of the bigger picture and start to doubt ourselves. The wait feels endless, and we start to wonder if the future will ever arrive. But this is exactly why patience is so important. It teaches us resilience and trust. It shows us that just because something is delayed doesn't mean it's denied. Sometimes the things we are waiting for need time to align. The opportunities need to ripen before they can be harvested. And it's during this time that you are being prepared for success, not just in skills, but in character. When you look back, you'll realize that all the moments of waiting were essential. The patience you practiced while waiting became the strength that allowed you to rise when the moment finally came. You'll see that it was the growth you experienced in the waiting that made the success even sweeter. Patience, in essence, is not a passive virtue. It's a proactive force that equips you for everything the future has in store. Sometimes in the hustle and bustle of life, we forget that there's something greater at play, something beyond our understanding. We often think that everything happens because of our own actions, decisions, and efforts. And while we have a role to play, there is a higher power at work, an unseen force that works behind the scenes, guiding our steps, aligning circumstances, and shaping our destiny. This is where the concept of divine timing comes in. Divine timing is not about chance or randomness. It's the belief that there's a purpose behind every delay, every detour, every obstacle you face. There's a reason why things don't always unfold the way you expect them to, and often it's because the universe or a higher power is preparing you for something bigger than you could ever imagine. You may feel frustrated by the delays or the closed doors in your life, but sometimes those setbacks are exactly what you need. They are protecting you, guiding you, and ensuring that when your time does come, you'll be ready. Think about how often we push and force things to happen, trying to make things unfold on our own timeline. We set goals, we make plans, and when they don't work out as we expected, we become disheartened, thinking that we've failed or that something's wrong. But what if that delay was part of the greater plan? What if that moment of waiting was actually a blessing in disguise, helping to steer you in a direction you couldn't see at the time? Divine timing means trusting that everything is unfolding as it should, even when we don't have all the answers. It's about having faith that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will show up exactly when you need them at the right time in the right place. You may not always understand why things don't happen when you think they should, but that's where trust comes in. Trusting that every moment of waiting is part of a divine orchestration and that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. There's a story in the Bible that talks about the timing of the seasons, how everything has its appointed time. And I believe that this is true in our lives as well. When things don't work out the way you planned, don't despair. Understand that there's a larger plan at work, and that plan will unfold when the time is right. The delays, the closed doors, the challenges, they're not there to discourage you. They're there to refine you, to teach you patience, and to prepare you for what's coming next. It's easy to feel like you're missing out or falling behind when things aren't happening according to your timeline. But divine timing teaches us to let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives. It teaches us to trust that there is a force greater than us that is aligning everything just as it should be. And when that divine moment arrives, when the doors open wide, you will realize that all the waiting, all the struggles, all the moments that seemed like setbacks were actually leading you to exactly where you were supposed to to be. So trust in divine timing. Trust that even when things don't happen the way you planned, they are still happening exactly the way they should. Sometimes the greatest blessings come when you least expect them and in ways that you couldn't have orchestrated on your own. When you let go and trust that divine timing is at work, you can find peace in the wait and confidence in the knowledge that everything is unfolding as it should. Opportunities are like fleeting moments, arriving when you least expect them and often disappearing just as quickly as they came. You can't control when they show up, but you can control how you respond when they do. The truth is, opportunities don't wait for you. They don't knock on your door and ask if you're ready. They don't care about your doubts or your hesitation. They come and go, and when they pass, they may never return in the same form again. If you wait for the perfect moment, you may find that the opportunity has already slipped away. This is where the importance of recognizing when it's your time to act becomes so crucial. Too many people spend their lives waiting for everything to line up perfectly, for the stars to align in just the right way before they make a move. They wait for the conditions to be ideal, when the finances are right, when the time feels just right, when all the risks seem calculated, and when the fear of failure is finally gone. But the truth is, that perfect moment may never come. Life doesn't wait for you to feel fully ready, and sometimes the key to success lies in recognizing that the best opportunities are the ones that require you to step out in faith, even when the path isn't completely clear. Think about all the great moments in history, the breakthroughs, the achievements, the people who took the leap when the odds weren't stacked in their favor. They didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They didn't wait until they had all the answers. They took action in the face of uncertainty. And it was that very action that created the perfect opportunity. Opportunities don't wait for you to get comfortable. They don't sit around on the sidelines waiting for your permission to change your life. They come in moments, in flashes, and it's in those flashes that you need to be prepared to act. The key is being aware of those moments, recognizing them when they arrive, and then stepping forward boldly even if you don't have everything figured out. The fact that you're moving forward with courage, despite the unknowns, is what will eventually lead you to the success you seek. Think of an athlete who trains for years to compete at the highest level. The opportunity to compete doesn't come every day. It's a rare moment, often only available once in a lifetime. And when that moment arrives, there's no time to hesitate, no time to second guess. You either act or you miss it. The preparation, the training, the sacrifice, they've all been leading up to this one opportunity. If you hesitate, if you wait for the perfect moment, you risk losing the chance to make your mark. This is the reality of life. Opportunities don't wait. They don't check in with you first. They show up and they move quickly. If you hesitate, they could pass you by and you may not get another chance. But when you're ready, when you've been preparing yourself, when you've been honing your skills and sharpening your mind, when that opportunity knocks, you'll recognize it. And in that moment, you have to be willing to act. That's the true meaning of recognizing the right timing. Not waiting until everything is perfect, but being prepared enough to seize the opportunity when it presents itself. The clock doesn't stop ticking and life doesn't wait. The best opportunities are often those that come with a little uncertainty, a little risk. But it's that very risk, that willingness to step into the unknown, that makes the opportunity worthwhile. When you act in the right moment, you can create something bigger than you ever imagined. So when the opportunity comes knocking, don't hesitate. Don't wait for the perfect time. Recognize it for what it is. Step into it with boldness and watch how everything you've worked for begins to fall into place. When we talk about timing, it's not enough to simply wait for the right moment to come. There is a powerful element of action that is needed to make the most of those moments when they arrive. Too often we believe that timing alone will bring success, that if we just wait for everything to fall into place, we'll see the results we desire. But the truth is, timing is only part of the equation. The other part is the willingness to take bold action when that moment comes. You can wait for the perfect moment, but if you don't act when it arrives, it will pass you by. Waiting in itself doesn't create change. It's what you do with that waiting time that determines the outcome. Success doesn't come to those who simply wait for opportunity to knock. It comes to those who are ready to knock back, to step forward, and to take action even when the path ahead isn't completely clear. Timing then is not just about recognizing the right moment. It's about stepping into it with courage, with confidence, and with a willingness to move even when you're unsure of what's next. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of failing, afraid of what others might think, afraid that we won't be able to handle the responsibility or that things might not turn out as we hope. But the truth is, you can't let fear dictate your actions, and you can't let the uncertainty of the future hold you back from moving forward. Timing alone will never be enough unless you are ready to act when it matters most. When you act in the right moment, even if you don't have all the details figured out, you open doors for growth, learning, and discovery. Taking that first step often leads to another and another until you realize that the action you took in one small moment has set the stage for something much larger. Each decision, each bold move brings with it a new lesson and new opportunities. And while the fear of the unknown can feel overwhelming, it's in those moments of uncertainty where real transformation happens. It's when you step out of your comfort zone, trusting in your own abilities and in the timing of life, that you make the breakthroughs you've been waiting for. We must also remember that action doesn't always have to be big and dramatic. Sometimes the most powerful moves are the small ones. Those decisions to take that next step, to make that phone call, to apply for that job, to ask for help, to start the conversation. These small actions, when done consistently, have the power to shift the course of your life in ways you never anticipated. It's easy to think that you need a massive, life-changing moment to make an impact. But often it's the small moments of action, compounded over time, that lead to the most significant transformations. There's also an element of trust in your own ability to navigate uncertainty when you take action. You may not have the complete map of where you're going, but trusting that you can handle whatever comes next is essential. The right timing often brings with it a sense of unease, a feeling that you're stepping into the unknown, but you have to trust that the moment you're in has already prepared you for what's ahead. The experiences, the challenges, and even the setbacks have all been leading you to this point where you're ready to take action, even without knowing all the answers. So, timing and action go hand in hand. One without the other will always fall short. Recognize the moment when it comes, but don't just wait for it to unfold on its own. Step into it with confidence, knowing that the timing is not just the universe's work, but yours as well. The act of taking the first step, even in the face of uncertainty, sets things into motion. When you take action in the right timing, you will find that doors open in ways you never imagined, and the path you've been waiting for begins to unfold, one step at a time. As we close today, I want you to leave with this powerful truth. Timing is everything. It's not just about waiting for the right moment, but about understanding that the right moment is often a combination of preparation, patience, divine guidance, seizing opportunities, and taking bold action. Life will test you with delays, detours, and moments of uncertainty. But in each of those moments, there is growth, there is purpose, and there is a lesson. The right timing is not always when you want it to be, but when you need it to be. Your job is to trust the process, to stay ready, and to take action when your moment comes. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Understand that every step, every season, and every delay has led you to the place where you are now, and that your timing is perfectly aligned with your purpose. So as you move forward, remember that timing doesn't just happen by chance. It's the combination of faith, preparation, and action. When you learn to recognize it, embrace it, and act on it, you will find that everything you've been working for will come together in ways you never imagined. The best is yet to come, and your time is now.